What's up, guys? It's me, London, of course. All right, check this out. I need you guys to answer a question for me. Check out my outfit. All right, so this is a onesie. It's a onesie. It's by Alexander Wang from his T line. And I wore it this weekend to this event called Market Days. It happens once a year here in Chicago. It's where a bunch of vendors come, and it's pretty much like a street festival. And I ran into one of my friends, well, an associate there, and he was like, "Oh my God, you came out in your underwear. I mean, does this look like it's underwear to you?" Okay, granted, it's a onesie, but just because it's a onesie doesn't mean it is underwear. And this comes from a guy that didn't have on a shirt. So tell me, do you think this is obscene? If you see me walking down the street in this, would you be like, "Oh my God, you have on underwear, that is obscene, you need to go change, I'm offended," or would you be like, "Hey, that's pretty cool, do you?" Because if you guys say it's obscene, I will not wear this out the house anymore. So yeah, help me out. All right, guys. Okay, I swear I do not like this angle. I still haven't gotten myself a desk chair. I'm still using my bar stool. And it's kind of awkward because I'm sitting up high, my computer is down here. And yeah. Anywho, childhood. What is the importance of a healthy childhood growing up? I mean, if you ask me, it's pretty damn important. I mean, what more is there to say? If you don't have a healthy childhood, most likely your child could possibly, oh, well, I take that back. Because there are people I feel like there are kids that are just naturally good people, and there are kids that are just probably naturally going to be bad. It could work in both ways. If you have a healthy childhood, you'll grow up to pass that love on, I would like to believe. You will therefore be nicer to your kids. You will understand the world better, hopefully. Your parents actually gives you a great education. They travel with you, I'm guessing. And they expose you to all the nice and healthy things in life, but also the bad things to say, "Hey, if you make this mistake, this is what will happen." But if you do have a bad childhood, it can actually make you want something better. It can make you a little bit stronger, and you won't be as sensitive to the world. So in the end, you just don't know. You really don't until the child becomes an adult. Some people I know, some of my friends, they didn't have the best childhood growing up, but it made them a little bit more driven. And now they are extremely successful. And it's opposite. I have some friends that have been totally spoiled. Like a lot of my friends in suburbs were totally spoiled. And it was only a handful of us that after college didn't want to move back home. I mean, the life is sweet when you live at home, but they were so sheltered that they wanted to pretty much live off their parents. And if any of my friends if you guys are watching this, I'm totally not like knocking you or nothing, but I understand, understand why you want to live home. I mean, you guys have a fucking lake in the back of your house. You live in a mini mansion. But I could not live with my, I just thinking about going back home makes me shiver. All the perks, no. Yeah, keep all the extra stuff. I grind on my own. But so it's either or, I guess that's it. All right, so for the challenge, we are supposed to tell you guys a childhood story about ourselves. And I'm trying to reach back into that part of my memory and pull something up. It's been so long since I thought about my childhood. Okay, I guess I'll tell you the time when I took a bully head on. When I got in a fight with the neighborhood bully. Okay, so I had to be about 10, and I have a nephew that's like 3 years younger than me. And, oh, yeah, he had to be 7. 7 or 8. He was like 7 or 8 or whatever. And it was this bully in the neighborhood that everyone was scared of. Like, everyone was just terrified. Little chubby little son of a bitch that was just mean as hell. Used to take people lunch money. If you go to the candy store, used to take their candy. And just mean. You'll avoid him at all costs if you see him in the street. So one day my nephew was out, and he was playing, minding his own business, and a bully came, and he was bullying him. Now, I used to don't want to take this bully head on. Nobody in the neighborhood did. But you don't fuck with my family. It always has been like that for me. And so, I don't know, I forgot what he did to my nephew. I think he didn't do anything to my nephew. So my nephew was playing, and he came over there and told my nephew to give him his truck, because he had a little truck. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, really? And so he was like, give me the truck. So my nephew looked at me, and he was so scared, and he was about to hand over his truck. And I was like, no, that is your truck. I was like, continue playing with your truck, you know? And so my nephew was looking at me like, really? And I'm like, don't worry about him. I got him. Play with your truck. So my nephew went back to playing with his truck, you know, still trembling. And he was like, if you don't give me that truck, I'm going to hit you. And so I looked at him, and I was like, if you hit him, I'm going to hit you. And he looked at me like, yeah, right. So he like just tapped my nephew like this. He was like, and before I knew it, I just stole off of him like, bam! And he was actually sitting on this little bench, this little concrete bench. And the only thing I remember seeing was dusty shoes like flying in there. I think I hit him so hard, like his shoes weren't tied there. When he fell back, it flew his shoes over his head, threw his shoes over his head. And then we just started boxing, you know. It was, and I must have dragged him up and down the neighborhood, so all the other kids came running around us, and I hit him against the wall, like bing, 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 and you know, my nephew went in and grabbed my mother, and my mother came out, grabbed me. She's like, "What are you doing fighting out here?" And after that, we just never had a problem with the dude. And the dude and I actually became friends after I whooped his ass. And he stopped bullying people, and we lived happily ever after. This is my childhood story. Peace.